21st May 2022 Morning Murli Shanti BapDada Madhuban. Sweet children, never mix up the dictates of your own mind with Srimad. To follow the dictates of your own mind means to cross out your fortune. Question: which hope should children not have in the Father? Answer: some children say, Baba, cure my illness. Have mercy. Baba says, those are your old organs. There will be a little difficulty, but what can Baba do about it? Why do you ask Baba for mercy when someone dies or goes bankrupt? Those are your karmic accounts. Yes, with the power of yoga, your lifespan can increase. Use your power of yoga to whatever extent you can. Song: you wasted the night in sleeping and the day in eating. Om Shanti. The meaning of Om has been explained to you children. Om does not mean God. Om means I, that is the self. Who am I? These organs belong to me. The Father also says, I am a soul, but I am the Supreme Soul. That is God. He is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, the resident of the Supreme Abode. He says, I am not the master of this body. You have to understand how I am the creator, director, and actor. I am definitely the creator of heaven. After having created the golden age, I definitely have to inspire the destruction of the iron age. I do this because I am Karan Karavanhar, means the one who acts and also acts through others. Who says this? The Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. Then he says that he is also the master of Brahman. You too are masters of the land of Brahma element when you stay there with the Father. It is also called the sweet home. At the time of creation of the new world, he first creates Brahman, who later became deities. They take the full 84 births. Shivbaba is ever worthy of worship. Souls have to take birth and rebirth, but there cannot be 8.4 million births. The Father says, you don't know your births. I tell you about them. The cycle of 84 births should be said, not 8.4 million. By remembering the cycle, you become the rulers of the globe. Now the Father says, remember me alone. Forget your bodies and all your bodily relations. Thus is now your last birth. These aspects will not be understood until they enter your intellect. Thus is an old body and an old world. This body will be destroyed. It is said, when you die, the whole world is dead for you. Thus is the short period of the confluence age to make effort. Children ask, Baba, for how long will this knowledge continue? The knowledge will continue to be given until the future deity kingdom is established. When the examination finishes, you will be transformed to the new world. Until then, something or other will continue to happen to your bodies. Thus, physical sickness is also the suffering of karma. This body that belongs to Baba is very precious, yet it coughs, etc. Thus is why Baba says, these organs of yours have become old. This is why there is some difficulty. You should not have any expectation that Baba will help in this. If you go bankrupt or if you become ill, the father would say that that is your account of karma. Yes, your lifespan will increase by having yoga, and it is you who will benefit. Make effort for yourselves, but don't ask for mercy. There is benefit in having remembrance of the Father. To whatever extent you can, use the power of yoga. There is a song, Hide Me in Your Eyes. Something that is loved is called the jewel of the eyes and is loved even more than life. That Father is loved the most, but he is incognito. This is why you are unable to have constant love for him. Otherwise, your love for him should be such. Don't even ask. The Father hides the children in his eyes. Eyes are not those physical eyes. You simply have to use your intellect to remember the one who is giving you this knowledge. He is the most beloved and corporeal Father, whose praise is the purifier, the ocean of knowledge, the ocean of happiness. People call him omnipresent. In that case, every human being would be the ocean of knowledge, the ocean of happiness. However, this is not so. Every soul has received his own imperishable part. These are very incognito aspects. First, you have to give the Father's introduction. It is that Father from beyond who creates heaven. In the golden age, the land of truth, there is the kingdom of deities, which is the new world that the Father creates. Your children know how He creates it. He says, I come to purify the impure. I have come into the impure world to make them pure. It is said, creation through Brahma. Therefore, Baba speaks the knowledge through his mouth and teaches you how to perform elevated actions. He tells you, children, I teach you such actions that your actions will not be sinful because Maya doesn't exist there. Your actions are neutral there. Here, there is Maya. Therefore, your actions are only sinful. Whatever you do in the kingdom of Maya, it is wrong. Now the Father says, you know everything from me. Those people make spiritual underwear in order to meet the Supreme Soul. They teach many types of Hatha Yoga, etc. Here you only have to remember the one Father. It is not necessary for you to say, Shift, shift. Thus is the pilgrimage of the intellect. The more you stay in remembrance, the closer you will come to the Father and become beads of the rosary of Rudra. Thus is the race to become the garland around Shivbaba's neck and to come closer in the rosary of Rudra. Keep a chart and your final thoughts will lead you to your destination. Have such a stage that you don't even remember your body. The Father says, you have now received lives like diamonds. Therefore, my dear children, children who are conquerors of sleep, remember me for at least 8 hours. That stage has not come as yet. Keep a chart of how long you remain on the pilgrimage of remembrance throughout the whole day. Did you come to a standstill? When you remember the Father, the inheritance will also stay in your intellect. This is the family path. The deity religion of heaven established by the Father is number one. The Father teaches you Raj Yoga and makes you into the masters of heaven. Later, this knowledge disappears. So how could this knowledge appear in the scriptures? The Ramayana, etc. were created later on. The whole world is Lanka. It is the kingdom of Ravan. Human beings who are like monkeys are made pure and worthy of being in a temple, and the kingdom of Ravan is destroyed. The Father, the bestower of salvation, gives you knowledge and grants you salvation. He grants salvation at the end. The Father now says, children, put everyone else aside and listen to me alone. Who am I? You first need to have this faith. And that same Father of yours, and once again telling you the essence of all the Vedas and scriptures. The Father personally gives this knowledge, and destruction will take place. Then later on in the Copper Age, when they start searching, the same Gita and scriptures will emerge. The same paraphernalia that you are seeing now is definitely needed for the path of devotion. The knowledge of others has continued from time immemorial, whereas thus knowledge ends here. Later, when they search, it is those scriptures, etc., that they find. This is why they call them eternal. It is in the Copper Age that those scriptures emerge. Therefore, I come again and speak the essence of all the scriptures. Then the same repetition will take place. Some believe in repetition and others say something else. There are many opinions. Only your children know the history and geography of the world. No one else knows it. They have made out that the duration of the cycle is hundreds of thousands of years. There are many who say that it has been 5,000 years since the Mahabharata war took place. This is that same war. Therefore, there must surely be the God of the Gita. If that were Krishna, he would be one with the peacock feathered crown. But Krishna only exists in the golden age. That same Krishna cannot exist now. Even in his next birth, he cannot have those same celestial degrees. If he has to become 14 celestial degrees from 16 celestial degrees, then there has to be a little difference birth by birth. In fact, there are many with peacock feathered crowns. Krishna is at first 16 celestial degrees full. His degrees continue to decrease slowly through his rebirth. This is a very deep secret. The Father says, do not waste your time just walking around and going here and there. This is the only time to earn an income. Those who have a lot of wealth think that it is heaven for them here. The Father says, congratulations to you for your heaven. The Father is the Lord of the poor. Donations are given to the poor. It is easy for the poor to surrender. Yes, sometimes a few wealthy ones also emerge. Thus things have to be understood clearly. The consciousness of one's body also has to be renounced. This world is about to end and we will return with Baba and the world will become new. Some will even go in advance. The mother and father of Krishna have to go in advance so that they can give birth to Krishna. The golden age begins with Krishna. These are very deep matters. It has to be understood who will become his mother and father and who is worthy of claiming the second number. You can also understand this from the service they do. Some even gallop ahead with luck. This is happening now. Those who come later are doing first class service. Your children are Roop and Basant. The father is also called Basant. He is a star. He is not that large. The Supreme Soul is God. The form of a soul is not large. They have shown a larger form so that people don't get confused. Shivbaba is the highest on high. Then there are Brahma, Vishnu and Shankar. Brahma becomes subtle, means Avyakta, from physical, means Vyakta. There are no other images. The dual form of Vishnu becomes Lakshmi and Narayan. Shankar's part is only in the subtle region. He doesn't play a part in the physical world, nor does he relate the story of immortality to Parvati. Those stories are of devotion. Those scriptures will emerge again. They have as much truth in them as a pinch of salt in a sackful of flour. They have said that the words of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita are right, but they then say that Sri Krishna is God. That is totally wrong. The praise of the deities is separate. The highest on high is the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul. The praise of the one who is remembered by all is different. Not everyone can be the same. The notion of omnipresence has no basis. You are the spiritual salvation army, but you are incognito. You cannot have physical weapons. Your weapons are the arrows of knowledge and the sword of knowledge. Effort lies in becoming pure. You have to make a pledge to the Father. Baba, I will become pure and definitely claim the inheritance of heaven. It is the children who receive the inheritance. The Father comes and gives you blessings, whereas Maya, Ravan curses you. Therefore, there should be great love for the most beloved Father. He does selfless service for the children. He comes into the impure world and enters an impure body to make your children worth diamonds and then goes and stays in the land beyond sound. At this time, it is the stage of retirement for all of you. This is why Baba has come. When everyone's light is ignited, you all become very sweet. You have to become as sweet as Baba. It is also sung, Baba, it's so sweet, so loving. However, Baba serves you children with such an egoless stage. In return, your children have to do a lot of service. This hospital cum university should be in every home, just as people have a temple, means shrine, in their homes. Your children give others health and wealth for 21 births on the basis of Srimad. Your children must also follow Srimad. If you follow the dictates of your own mind, you cross out your own fortune. Do not cause sorrow for anyone, just as the Maharathis are doing service, so you have to follow them. Make effort to be seated on the heart throne. Acha, to the sweetest, beloved, long lost, and now found children, love, remembrance, and good morning from the mother, the father, BapDada. The spiritual father says Namaste to the spiritual children. The spiritual children says Namaste and good morning to the spiritual father. Essence for the dharana. First point, become as egoless as the Father and do service. Give the return from your heart of the service you take from the Father. Become very sweet. Second point, do not waste your time going around here and there. Race to become part of the garland around shivbaba's neck. Practice not remembering even your body. Blessing. May you be knowledgeful and trikaldarshi by knowing every secret of the drama and remaining constantly happy. Explanation. The children who are knowledgeful and trikaldarshi never get upset. Even if someone insults them, they still remain happy because those who know every secret of the drama never get upset. It's those who do not know the secrets who get upset. Therefore, always have the awareness that if, after becoming God, the Father's children, you are not happy, then when will you be happy? Those who are happy and content now became close and equal to the Father. Slogan: those who stay innocent of all West are true saints, means great souls. Om Shanti